Are in the beginning of February. It's February 3rd. Typically with lychees, the flowering is somewhere between January 1 and the end of February. We have had some exceptions where the flowering actually is late as March, and then we've had very, very late fruit. But you want a situation where your trees have been dormant, that is dormant from a growth flush for at least a month or a month and a half. And most of the trees, including this one here, and the trees in our groves out west have been dormant and with a couple of months of hardened off growth. That's the ideal situation where you want the cold weather to kick in. And we've had a lot of cool days in January. We've had many days we're in the high 40s, low 50s. So that's necessary. You want those temperatures below 68 degrees. Anyway, so we are beginning to see the first evidence of bloom on this sweetheart tree. You can see the bloom spikes emerging from the apical meristem up here on this tree towards the top part of the tree. By the end of February, this bloom will be fully developed, and we should start to have a good idea of what the crop is going to be like, providing we don't have some terribly hard freeze. In the past, a few years ago, we had an extremely hard freeze at the end of December, beginning of January, and what emerged were all female hermaphrodite flowers. And we thought to ourselves, oh man, this is great flowering, we're going to have a lot of fruit. But then you looked and saw all the flowers were hermaphrodites. If you look on the website, there's an article on lychee flowering which helps you identify which types of flowers. Typically the male flowers open first, followed by the female flowers, followed by the hermaphrodites, which have a viable pollen, but the stigma on the hermaphrodite will not set fruit. So anyway, so far, growing lychees is it's a statistical game. Every so many years, just like we haven't had a hurricane in years, and then we had one last year, we had Irma. Same with lychees. Every few years you're going to get a really good crop. Some years you won't get a good crop. I'm not going to bet the farm or count the chickens, but so far the conditions necessary to get a decent bloom have been in play. So my thinking is that we'll review this situation here at the end of February, and we'll see just the extent of the bloom. And if the extent of the bloom is good with a balanced, male flowers and female flowers, then I think we're headed for a good year. So I suggest that if you're interested, go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. You can do that on the Lychees Online site or the Tropical Garden Market site, and we'll keep you posted. We'll let you know a week or so in advance when the fruit is ready, when the fruit will be ready. So anyway, so I'm always looking forward to a good season, but I don't want to jinx myself. So at any rate, just stay tuned, and we'll give you another update here at the end of February.